Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a basic text page just like this one that you can reuse time and time again. So I have my page here, and this is kind of the finished product, and it's just a template so that I can add text to this page. And you have the layouts where you have a privacy policy page or just a page where text is needed. And so what I've done is I've taken these text elements and put them in a stack. So I have headings, I have paragraphs, and then I can just customize this with the text that I need. And the stack is nice because I can move elements up and down. I can change heading styles in here if I need a different heading style for a certain section. And I can just kind of build out my text section here, especially if I have a lot of text. And I can duplicate these elements too. So it's just a really great way to build out your text. So I'm going to show you how to do this with a new blank section. And I'm just going to drag in a few elements here. So I have a title element, I have a paragraph element, and I'm not too worried about the layout here. I'm just dragging these over to get them on my canvas. And then I'm going to go in and format them. So this is what I have here so far. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these elements in a stack. So I'm just going to click on each of the text elements and hold the shift key. And you'll see that it groups them together. And then I can click on this stack option. So once I do that, they're in a group and it's kind of messy right now, but we're going to fix that in just a second. And you can see that a bit more as I drag this out, that the lengths of these elements are all different. And so the way that I fix that is once I get this stack to the width that I want, then I go over here to the design panel and I click on this justify button. And this is going to make it so all of these elements are the same width across the stack. So as soon as I click that, you can see now they're all consistent. And if I change my stack here, they stay consistent no matter how big or small it becomes. So I'm going to go in and align this to center. And then on the item spacing side, I'm going to put in 24 pixels here. So the spacing becomes equal. I'm going to change this to pixels so it's more fixed than the px with an asterisk. So now I can start getting into the alignment of the items and the layout and all those sort of things. I could also align my items to center. So now that I have it in the stack, it becomes a lot easier for me to create this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to duplicate some of these. So I'm going to duplicate my heading here, and then I'm going to move it down. Then I'll duplicate my paragraph and move it down. And then I could build out these sections however I want with however many titles. I want heading elements here and paragraph elements, and I could change them as well. So bring this down to a heading 6, bring this one down to a heading 5. I could kind of just get these, or maybe this is heading 4, get these however I want, and then it's going to be ready to go. The other thing that's nice about a stack is if I really needed to, like let's say I needed a bigger gap here between these elements, I could do that while the other ones still stay at 24 pixels. So if I need a bigger gap here between sections, again, it's just super nice to have it in a stack, and it makes it so much more flexible as I try to build it out. And then the last thing I need to do is get my section here. So I have some padding on my section. So I'm going to go in and put in 6% padding on horizontal and vertical. So you'll see that in the green here. Now it's got the padding. I'm going to align this to center, and I'm going to stretch out my stack here to kind of match the padding. And then we'll align it here again. So it should fit within there pretty close. And then I'm going to shrink this down. So now I've got my basic text page ready to go. And then what I would do as a final step is I would use the responsive design here. So go into your layers, make sure you're on the section element, and then add responsive AI to make sure it's optimized for all the different devices. And then I'll go ahead and click this and generate, and it'll start going to work to make this a bit more optimized for mobile and tablet and that sort of thing. So as it's going to work with that, I'm starting to build out this basic structure, and it's working its magic, and it does a pretty good job most of the time. So I can go check, okay, yeah, this looks pretty good. Tablet still kind of has this gap here, and then I could customize each of these if I want to. I'm pretty happy with this. This is the other example that I had built here. And then the final step is, if you want to create this as a section that you can reuse, you would save this as an asset. So you go in here to your section. Once everything is done, you don't want to save it as an asset until you've done all the steps and you have it exactly how you want it, including renaming your section to basic text or whatever you want to call it. Then you can click these three dots, go down here, save as asset, and then you name it basic text. And then you can add it to one of your libraries here. So I'm going to add it to KDC Marketing, click add, and then I can reuse this section now anytime I want. So I just go here and go to add element, go to assets, go to KDC Marketing, and here is my basic text right here. I click in and boom, it's there and everything's ready to go. And then if I ever want to customize it again, I just work within my stacks. So I just duplicate these down and add text in if I need to, duplicate these titles. So it becomes kind of a flexible framework for you to just add text. And it's not super common to have just only text pages, but you do have them show up in legal pages, usually privacy policy pages, that sort of thing. Or if you do have a page where you just want text and no images or anything else like that, then you're good to go. And if you did want to add an image in, you just go here and then you just drag in an image into your stack and it will attach in your stack. And then you can, recustomize your stack to get it to do certain things to make sure that it all aligns properly and all of that's possible. So again, if you need more than just text, you've got the framework ready to go. If you only need text, then you're good to go as well. So if you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next video.